It is a culmination of a great man's extraordinary dream. It is the place where so many dreams have come true. Max McGraw's dream came first. He bought the land that would become the Max McGraw Wildlife Foundation when it was just pasture near the Fox River. He turned it into a showpiece of nature and conservation, now beginning its 55th year of shaping lives and changing the world. The Max McGraw Wildlife Foundation is so many things. It is a renowned research institution that each day teaches us more about man's interactions with wildlife. It is a place where children come to learn to love the outdoors. It is changing the way America finances conservation. It is a setting for family gatherings, reunions, and celebrations. It is a place where deer amble the woods and pheasants skulk in the fields, where trout rise in the stream and bass lurk in the lakes. It is the backdrop for the memories of a lifetime.
My grandfather, my father, myself, and my son now is an outdoor steward, and I had breakfast with my grandson this morning, who is 2, and he will be out here, I'm sure, shooting his first shotgun.
We don't know just what Mr. McGraw envisioned when he first set foot on the land, which would become his family retreat. But he knew that there was more to be done. He established a fish hatchery and a game farm, where research and careful experimentation led to hardier pheasants and game fish. He planted trees and dug lakes, using his land as a conservation laboratory. Following his mantra, "There's a way to do it better, find it." And so he did. Within a short time, Mr. McGraw's farm had become one of the first hunting preserves in the Midwest, and the inspiration for scores of other preserves, ensuring that hunting and fishing would be possible even as cities sprawled and highways snaked across the countryside. Toward the end of his life, he set aside the land and established the Wildlife Foundation that bears his name. How could he have dreamed of what was to come? That a half hour from one of the world's busiest airports, less than an hour from one of the world's greatest cities, he would have created an oasis for relaxation and an institution that never rests.
When we think about what McGraw is doing today to change the world, think of the Conservation Leaders for Tomorrow program. We are training the leaders across America who are going to run our fish and wildlife agencies, natural resource agencies, and be the deans at universities teaching natural resource management. And McGraw is the unquestioned leader in America. When we think about other ways McGraw is changing the world, the work that Stan Garrett is doing with his predator disease research and predator population dynamics. We're on National Geographic, we're on the front pages of newspapers. Not McGraw, but the work of McGraw, and in this case, all the people we're supporting. So we are absolutely, right now, changing the way we manage wildlife and how we train tomorrow's leaders. And then the most exciting thing of all might be Center for Conservation Leadership, where we're going to be really tackling the biggest issue. How do we spend the money we have? We need to be much more efficient with the money we have, and we've assembled teams of leaders from across the country who are working on that.
I think you would be amazed at the direction it's taken as far as its growth. What we're doing here with all the new programs and those that we've had in the past, I would say it would look on them very favorably.
And yet, would Mr. McGraw be all that surprised? Would he feel out of place if he visited his old farm today? After all, he would see hunters and anglers and friends enjoying each other's company and the magnificent property he loves so dearly. He would meet people who have dedicated their professional lives to McGraw, a board of directors and leadership team who stand solidly behind his vision and who continue to be inspired by his tireless nature and entrepreneurial spirit, more than a half-century after his death.
If we open that time capsule for McGraw's 100th anniversary, or maybe even its 150th, the world might look very different, but I think McGraw's DNA is going to be the same, and Max McGraw would be really proud. We have built, with his initial leadership and funding, an entity that's unlike any in the country. But we all should recognize, because we're in the business of being entrepreneurs and we're innovators, and we fundamentally believe there should be better ways to do the things we're doing today, our work is never going to be finished. And I think in the next 10 years, we're going to just make quantum leaps forward. So Max McGraw, what would he think of the foundation? I think he would say, wow, I didn't know it could become this. We're not building an empire here. We're building the future of hunting and fishing through innovation and through really groundbreaking work.
And there will be fish to catch, and pheasants to flush, and magnificent lakes, and children and families, and the knowledge that everyone who loves McGraw is working to secure the future of hunting, fishing, and land management, and that we must continue to work together to sustain Max McGraw's vision if the conservation movement in America is to succeed now and into the future. Because of your work, the best memories are yet to come. This is your McGraw.